You know, there's a saying that graphics don't make good games, and the Callisto Protocol is a perfect example of that. It is literally the Order 1886 of this generation. You can have fantastic visuals, great presentation, great voice acting, and a decent atmosphere and setting. But if the gameplay aspect is fucked up, it's not good. I don't care what nobody says. The gameplay aspect is the most important thing. Gameplay over story, gameplay over graphics, gameplay. Yeah, maybe you guys are thinking something else, but it's true here. This rings true here. I just beat the Callisto Protocol, and I'm extremely unimpressed and disappointed. Although a lot of people did say this game has a lot of issues, I still decided to pick it up to try it out for myself, and for the sake of you fine mother and father fuckers to give it a chance. But everyone and their baby mama was that ass on point. For real. I honestly cannot believe Striking Distance Studios, who is led by Glenn Schofield, who is also the creator of Dead Space, well, co-creator of Dead Space, my bad, made such a catastrophe of a horror game. Well, let's just jump right into the plot. The game takes place in the year 2320 on a dead Jupiter moon called Callisto. You play as a man called Jacob Lee with his partner who is transporting some sort of cargo. They both get ambushed by a group of people. Then Jacob later, wakes up. Let me back up. Gets arrested for being at the wrong place in the wrong time. He is sent to Black Iron Prison. When he awakens, he finds that it's overran by his fellow inmates who transform into these infected, monstrous human beings. He decided to link up with another inmate called Elias Porter and must fight his way and survive through hordes of enemies while navigating and finding a way out of Blackgate Prison. Now, the story seems like it has potential to be something nice, but sadly, it's bland as fuck. It tries so hard to be scary, horrifying, and make the make you feel for the characters, keep you interested of the setting, the tone. Yet it, just made me want to skip all the cutscenes and quickly off topic, despite them being fucking unskippable. This is where I hate this when games do this bullshit. Sometimes I want to get to the point. I get the writers want us players to understand what's going on, but in this, say if I want to load an autosave because I made an error, I have to sit through a cutscene over again. Jacob Lee, okay, him as a character, he's not a bad person, but he lacks so much depth. Yeah, he's underdeveloped. As I said before, he was just there at the wrong place in the wrong time. Other than him going above and beyond for people who doesn't know, nothing really is interesting about him. He's just some guy trying to survive. He lacks, like I said, he lacks so much depth. Honestly, but he does look out for a few characters, and one of them that seemed pretty interesting was Elias, although he lacked depth too. Elias Porter has been in Blackgate Prison all his life and is very helpful. But they decide to kill him off and replace him with this bitch called Donnie, who ambushed you in the first place. Throughout most of the game, she is just a complete asshole to Jacob over something he barely had anything to do with, or whatever. And he's such a suck up for it. And then you got this boot-looking ass motherfucker called Captain Ferris, the guy who's a high-ranking soldier. Who so happens to be the second antagonist, and the boss of the game is just there to be there. He's loyal to Warden Cole, even embraces the idea when he gets infected that it's cool. He's honestly a flat villain. Although Warden Cole barely shows up, which he is the main villain, I guess they're going to be doing a sequel, but yeah, whatever. At least he has some charisma. Ferris is just a high-ranking officer that goes under stretch from his people getting killed, gets infected, and then becomes a warden's puppet. Man, the plot ain't in characters just not all that. But we're gonna move on to the main problem. The main problems, and it's the gameplay, the level design, and the enemies. I guess we're gonna start off with the gameplay. This is the way this game is made makes no fucking sense or whatever, and broke it down. I'm gonna break it down as much as I can, okay? It's hard to believe it got past QA testing. Listen, it's supposed to be a horror game, but the only thing that's fucking horrifying is about how the way it controls. Let's start off with the fucking combat. The fucking combat system is like a fucking boxing game. If you move the left stick or right stick, you'll do a dodge and a come attack, and it doesn't have to be perfect. All you have to do is flick the left stick, left or right, and you'll block it. Sometimes, you do a perfect block, and it helps you do a haymaker or a hit with a stun baton, but still. But anyway, you could hold back to block it, then use a stun baton to hit them if the enemy doesn't keep spamming attacks. That kind of happens too. But no matter how early you do it, like I said before, it never matters how you do it. You will always dodge successfully so long as you hit that left stick. However, it becomes a problem if you're taking on 2 or more enemies at once. Because dodging will become a curse. You'll dodge an attack and end up running into an enemy and get hit by and Jacob's stupid ass will automatically lock into them when he gets hit by another enemy. You barely have control of the camera at all in fights, especially in tight areas. I don't know why they do it in tight areas, and you manually lock on to any enemy that he's close to. You'll clip to any enemy he's close to or get hit by too. The camera and dodge mechanic are so many reasons why fighting this game feels like a chore. Add that to the list of tight areas, as I said before, not being running away because Jacob is fucking slower than a one-legged man in a race, inconsistent combos, swarms of enemies in small areas again, sometimes even in big areas. Some will even spit acid at you, but I'll get to the enemy types later. Awkward controls, slow animations. That's the main problem I have right there. Okay, now, I know people are saying, but Raji, look, you get other weapons. Yeah, you get weapons such as a hand cannon, skunk gun, riot shotgun, tactical pistol, and assault rifle. And you also get this thing called the GRP. I forgot the acronym. It's like this glove that acts like telekinesis. You can move things and enemies, flying them around in the objects and stuff, or, but combine this with the awkward controls, it becomes pretty annoying. I found myself picking items up or enemies up I didn't want to pick up, or items being stuck in the ground. Not to mention you can easily lose grip of them, and every bit of furniture will block them just a little bit because of how crazy the hitboxes is from flying across the damn room. Yes, I know enemies can be upgraded and they're somewhat useful, but yeah, the shooting in the game just feels kind of weird at times. Well, it works when, let me back up. It works when, reloading comes in. But honestly, I'm going to get to that. Honestly, when everything is done so slowly, it's an issue. Even selecting weapons and healing is slow. You're in a fight, you're doing... look, okay, check this out. You're in a fight, you're doing really well. You pull off a 3-hit combo, and a little target indicator pops on the screen saying you can shoot them. You're out of ammo. Now, you would expect Jacob to earlier reload his damn pistol or any weapon he has out, but no. Instead, you have to press square, and he does it too slow. Changing weapons. You're in the middle of a fight, and you need to quickly change weapons. You better back up and hope for the best, because you have to press the right arrow on the D-pad to pull your weapon up. Or whatever, weapon inventory up. Then press up or down to select. To move the cursor or whatever. Then you gotta press X when you find the same weapon. Seems simple, but do that in a fight. Do that while you're fighting. I guarantee you're gonna get hit. Healing goes like this. This time, press up on the D-pad. Press up on the D-pad, okay? you'll see that you got a bunch of list of things on it. Then you would go to your health injector, and then when you select that, you will sit through a 3-second animation while enemies come towards you. Everything in this game is a fucking animation. Everything, just about everything. How hard would it be to press one button or switch one button to heal, switch weapons, or just let us pause the fucking game to access our damn inventory instead of having us have the UI during the screen during gameplay sections? And there are actual idiots defending this method, saying it builds strategy. You gotta heal and change your weapons before heading into another location, or you could just back up and reposition yourself. You know how many times I did that shit? And enemies are so fucking random. Even if you try to run in another room, if you get lucky, they'll follow you into there. There's no fucking barely any safe locations. Get the hell out of my face with that. Miss me with that fucking bullshit. The game isn't hard to learn how to, play, but it's design issues. Seeing The Sopranos loudly in the Callisto project. I mean, come on. It's honestly really frustrating doing all of this. Being swamped and hitting everything. Where, they could have just tweaked it so easily. And Jacob, I mean, I don't know if I mentioned this, but yeah, I did mention this, but I'm going to say it again. Jacob, he's so fucking slow. Him not being able to run away is such a joke. He's too slow. And if you do manage to walk up and get away, enemies could easily just climb through a vent and follow you. It's just ridiculous. You want to move away, you get away, try to heal up, they're going to could follow through a vent and start hitting you. No matter if you're near the GVC, and I forgot how you say it, but yeah, it was a printing machine that you make weapons with. Moving on to the level design. The level design. If I could sum it up with one word, it would be linear. Now, graphically, environments, character models, textures, lighting are all on point. Traveling through the level, you can get really immersed in Callisto Protocol stunning visuals if you're heavily into graphics, or just into graphics, period. Graphics are nice. I'm not trying to say that they're not too bad, but they're beautiful. The graphics are beautiful. However, that immersion dropped for me when almost every area looks exactly the same. Like, I'm not kidding. Sometimes I'm not sure if I'm in the correct room. All throughout the game, I was trying to figure out if I had a map. Now, Rangers, yes, that's what you're called now. Get used to it. If there's a map, please let me know. Because from start to finish, I couldn't find one. The levels, as I said before, are really linear. I mean, I guess it doesn't really need a map, but yeah, but sometimes it appears like a maze due to the areas being dark and looking the same. But the game is like a one-way street. You could explore a bit, find a few things in some rooms along the way, but you still have to take the same path to the next point. There's no shortcuts or alternative routes. None at all. Always one path. You'll find yourself spending time opening doors with gate fuses or magically fighting waves of enemies until a door magically opens. Backtracking really happens. It only works out of the convenience for the narrative of the game. If you've left something behind or decide you want to buy or upgrade something at the UJC printing machine, well, tough shit, because there's a 90% chance that this damn game will lock the damn door. Just fucking lock the damn door. That's what they will do. They will lock that damn door after you got to a certain segment. Now you might think I should just save for entering a room, no problem. That would be a smart idea. Except saving doesn't fucking work in this game. No matter where you're at, saving manually doesn't work. They're taking you back to the checkpoint you reached. So if you did a few things like kill a few enemies, buy upgrades, but end up getting killed or decided to turn off your system because you gotta do some shit to do or want to take a break, well, when you fire it back up, I mean, well, fire back up and you thought you saved. Nope. Nope. Have fun doing all that garbage again. If you didn't if you didn't hit an autosave checkpoint area right after that. Now, as for enemies, there are a couple of enemies in the game, including Captain Ferris, final form. Most pack-a-punching could kill you in the most gruesome ways. Death scenes and blood and gore are like top notch. I'm not gonna lie, I'll give it to them. Enemies will knock your face off, cave your face in, eat you alive, rip your limbs off, gouge your eyes out, rip them out, rip your face, rearrange it, crush your head. I mean, wow, the shit he does. And you can see fucking Jacob suffering. He normally dies of shock, or you just see that. Even there's this little creature that will, like, leech that'll go down your throat. As far as cutscenes go, they did, they did a phenomenal job. Death scenes and cutscenes, they did a good job in this category. The enemies I normally got were like, well, grunts and spitters. Grunts are regular infected. They are too tough, but as I said before, when there's two or more in the same room, same area, it can be complicated. That's why in hallways you have to tread carefully, because there's sometimes, you'll fight one at the end of the hallway, and if you get grabbed towards it and they move you that way and you pass a certain trigger, another will pop out and start fighting you too. So you gotta do it one by one. Yeah. So, and the fact that, they grab you, like I said, does not help at all, man, either, because of QTE. Like, the QTE, it relies too much on it. You get grabbed, boom, boom, you gotta tap triangle over and over and over to get you off of them, but I'm gonna kind of get to that later or whatever. Spitters are pretty annoying too. They'll spit acid, acidic, like maybe it's acid or maybe some sort of other acidic substance on you or whatever while across the room. And strafing, I know you're supposed to do that, but it can be annoying problem due to how slow Jacob moves. That's another issue. QTEs are found in this game a lot, and it relies, like I said, too heavily on them for the sake of jump scares. For me, I mean, horror should stem from setting, tone, atmosphere, music, and enemies. If your game has to rely on this method too much, it's far more annoying than frightening. I get some people think like a camera may build tension, well, sort of, or controls might, but no, after a while it gets annoying. First it's scary, but after a while it gets annoying. That's the problem with this game. It's not that scary. Like, what the hell? And they do this often with the parasites that are hidden in cases and blood swarms that are hidden in these like cocoons. So grab onto you and you just gotta tap triangle to get them off you, and you'll lose mad health while doing so. So if you're about to step into a fight, you better heal up. I mean, well, you never know, because they're always hidden. They're never in the room automatically. They always hop out a fucking vent from what I've seen. Well, the security robots, they're the next enemy. Well, not the next enemy. I'm doing this in a different type of order. I'm not going to add every enemy, but I'm a security bot, so let me get to them. They appear intimidating, but they can be easily avoided, although they could shoot holes in you, take your fucking legs off, and stomp your head over, whatever. But all you gotta do is stay out of sight, and you're pretty much okay. But they're actually more of a better enemy than the blind. These blind creatures are supposed to be so badass, so scary. They're supposed to be able to hear anything, detect anything, but they can't hear you swiftly moving past them, or can't hear you attacking their fallen brethren left and right. They're like free money and ammunition. The money in ammunition I would get off of them, the stuff I would sell, it was just easy. I was just, if you play the game, just kill them. You would max out like it's fucking income tax season. Come on, man, like they're nothing. As for boss fights, there's a fair amount. There's 6, but however, 4 are recycled and 2 are with Ferris. I would say The first one with Ferris is okay, but the other one is like, wow. Okay, let's start off with Two-Head. Two-Head is a two-headed monster that you can encounter 4 times. It can kill you with a single strike. However, all you gotta do is rack up on ammo and keep your distance. But like the first fight, was kind of a problem or whatever. Well, no, the waves of enemies, I already knew what to do because I seen it, but the waves of enemies would give you an issue. So your best bet is to look up online for the tutorial for the wave of enemies if you want to do it. But as when you get to him, your stuff will not replenish, so you should make sure you got enough ammo for him and keep your distance or whatever. But I mean, however, things will just get complicated like in other 2 fights when he gets help. It gets help or whatever. When it gets help, that's when it gets complicated because you're busy focusing on him or that person, and they'll come behind you, or he'll come behind you and hit you. It's ridiculous, honestly. So yeah, okay. Now moving on to Ferris. His humanoid monster form is pretty okay. Just a lot of Muhammad Ali and everything. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. All you gotta do is dodge it and smack him upside the head or whatever. Just make sure you got health, because I stupidly went in with no help and kept losing on one swing. That was on my fault. But however, his second form though, the second fight, he mutates into this gigantic monster that shields his face, making him look like the Big Daddy Paws from BioShock. Look, this fight was so bad and rage-inducing that I ended up throwing a chair across the room. I mean, that was stupid, but still. And I decided to just load up an autosave just to buy riot shotgun ammo. I mean, that's really what helps, honestly. Nothing helps you on it in this. I can't think of another way. That's how I beat him. Ferris is not only stronger and more durable than you are, but he's faster too. And he gets these fucking combustors to sneak up on you and blow up on you. So there's no running away to heal. And if you reload at the wrong time, you're more than fucked. Than Haha Davis doing 5 years with Big Fella. Yes, I know you're supposed to throw them at him, but you need a clear shot, honestly. And this, he's often behind something or just too fucking slow. I mean, oh no, not just too fucking slow. He's often behind something or just too fucking close. Sorry, my bad. But the ending, moving on to the ending, it was honestly pretty weak. Although it implies there's going to be a sequel, I'm going to not mention too much spoilers or whatever. No spoilers at all. But it was clearly rushed out. The way they ended it didn't make me really care. I honestly was happy it was over. Right, wrapping it up, moving on to as for bugs and glitches, and I only counted 3. None were game breaking, but sometimes the force occasionally dips. But other than that, it works as it should, So I don't got a problem with that. Okay, now let's go for the verdict. Callisto Protocol, the Callisto Protocol is honestly the most disappointing game I played in years. Again, it shows graphics and presentation aren't enough. It's very linear, boring, and plagued with all sorts of design issues that could have been easily avoided. My score for the Callisto Protocol is a 5 out of 10. It's the definition of mediocrity. And I know it's a new IP and there's maybe future installments, but seeing who direct the game and as well as seeing new IPs that do a lot better, there's no excuse. Anyway, I'll catch you on another stream or whatever. Well, the next stream, next time I'll be raging out in Dead Space Remake on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, this has been Prodigy from Eastside Rage signing out. Keep raging.